morning, it's Ginny and Tim at DS Tech, and we're going to talk a little bit more about AI, the buzzword. Everybody's still talking about it, and it keeps growing.
Yep.
It's here. So, and you know, it's at, what do they call that when it starts to get everywhere? It's like mass something. But anyway.
Yep.
Tim's gonna talk about that, the pros, the cons, all that kind of stuff, and what to watch out for. So stay till the end, because we do have some advice for you on how to implement AI in your business without making big security holes and causing a lot of trouble. So that's the biggest thing, right? Yep. But we'll go over the pros first and some of the fun stuff, and then we'll give you that information. Drop your comments and your questions. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
So
this one's going to be about the advancements of AI and how MSPs can help you with it. So kind of just starting with an overview, assuming you haven't watched any episodes or you're coming into this blind. Pretty much everything used to be called machine learning back in the day. If you remember, in the early 2000s, 2010s, everything with computing was machine learning, where computers were taking information, learning, and trying to improve themselves to get better and better and better, and it kind of like a runaway thing. And so ML, machine learning, was kind of the buzzword. Today, now the buzzword is AI. The biggest difference is they're basically using language like with the machine learning, so it can spit out answers as well. So that's why it kind of looks like AI. But it really, at the end of the day, I look at AI as just advanced machine learning with a few extra things on it, and it's easier to pitch to CEOs and non-technical people. Because if you go to like a CEO and you're like, you want machine learning for your computer setup? They're like, well, what does that do? But if you go and say AI, it's a little bit easier on the tongue, and that's my personal little take on what I see. But overall, it's basically an umbrella term for a broad set of technologies that emulate aspects of human intelligence, because it's using machine learning and data that you're giving it using speech. So from theory to practice, where AI is actually being used right now, right? You have AI this, AI that, other than watching silly meme videos on the internet, where is it actually being used in practicality? And the first one is transportation and logistics. So the example is Amazon, for example. They have so many delivery drivers across the entire nation, and so they're trying to coordinate the schedules to be the most efficient. Well, what if there's a tornado going through Kentucky, there's a hurricane in Florida, there's a snowstorm out in Montana? You don't really know all of this all at once, but if you actually can tie into a weather database that pumps the API into your scheduling assistant, it may automatically reroute drivers based on the weather conditions as they're happening in real time. And you're kind of pumping those technologies together using AI and machine learning. So that way it's just automating things for you efficiently from multiple data silos.
Like Google Maps and Waze does for me when I'm traveling.
Yeah, if you're driving all congested traffic ahead, take this detour. It's like real time taking the information, giving it to you from that. Because that used to be like, call them data silos, right? You had the Weather Channel or the weather with all their data and the servers here, and you have this here. Well, now they can kind of tie some of that together, and using machine learning and AI, make it all work very seamlessly.
That's the coolest part, I think, is it can take all that data, all the data you give it. Even I give it files like PDFs and stuff like that, and videos, whatever, and it can go through it all and take out the key things that you need to do your job.
Yeah,
which is super
huge
cool.
Time saver.
Yeah. Anyway, keep going.
Where it also is being used is most commonly here at Elver is IT and programming, because everyone says, oh, there's programmers aren't going to exist anymore, and that's not really. I have my own take on that. Yes, there's still going to be need for programmers. There might not be as many, because a lot of the low hanging fruit programmers who are just doing very basic introductory stuff is going to be handled by like AI. But those who are really good programmers, you're going to need humans to actually read the code, that understand what it's doing, to make sure it's not hallucinating, making fake code. So there's always going to be that quality assurance that's needed by top tier individuals that are programming.
By the way, hallucinating, in case you don't know, is when it gives you false.
And it thinks it's so right. It's like, this is a command.
It's very confident.
Or, yeah, like Alt F4 makes your computer go faster. That's not true. Don't do that.
No.
But it'll tell you something with such,
confidence that you actually believe it. I mean, the other day it gave me the wrong part number for some stuff, and I was like, that's not right, because I looked it up and I was like, nope.
So you always need humans to do the quality assurance when you're done, is what I always advise anyone. Never just take the initial result. It's almost like when Google had the I'm feeling lucky button, where you could type a search instead of searching on all the websites. It just gave you the website it thought was right. It's kind of like AI now. You type it in, it gives you what it thinks is right based on all the available information, but you still want to definitely double check that. And definitely with programming is where you definitely want to have real humans doing it. So infrastructure management, cybersecurity are now partially automated with AI-driven monitoring and threat detection. Technicians can offload repetitive tasks and focus on architecture and innovation and design. Because like as a programmer, a lot of times you'd be getting burnt out just doing the same lines of code over and over because you do the same thing. Well, what if you could have that code be automatically done because you've done the same code 100 times, allowing you to maybe think more critically and find a new way that we could do it that's more efficient possibly. So it allows humans to be more creative with their thinking because the repetitive tasks are being taken up by the AI and the automation and machine learning. So another one where you've seen it is media and content creation. So people are basically using AI to edit videos. Back in the day, you could edit a photo like Photoshop to say, was that picture Photoshop? Well, now it's so easy to just make a fake image, a generated image based on a quick prompt. And now you can take the same technologies that you could apply to pictures in Photoshop and do that in like Adobe Premiere or the video editing software because it's just able to use more, I guess, machine learning at looking all the pixels in the image and actually edit it and manipulate it in a way that wasn't possible even 5 years ago. So
it's like you can click on, say, I want to remove the background, or maybe I just want to cut out this little object. You can just click the object and automatically sees it.
And I remember I used to do photography semi-professionally at weddings and things like that. And to be able to take a wedding photo and take out Uncle Al, who's in the corner and who doesn't look so great, took forever. You actually had to know what you were doing. Well, now anyone with their smartphone, click a button and boom, Uncle Al's gone. So that's just the power of like where AI is helping with this. It's allowing some of the stuff that used to be technical to be automatically happening due to programming.
In video editing, it will automatically see pauses. So if I'm like recording videos and if I made a mistake, I'll just make a big pause because then I know, it'll cut it out there and then I can just shorten it a little bit.
Yeah, so you can use it.
Saves a lot of time.
Or summary timestamps. You did a podcast for an hour long and you're like, I want to have key timestamps would automatically be done for my description. It'll automatically do that for you. There's various ways where it basically will speed up the media creation process. So as a content creator, again, it's not going to take all these jobs from artists and everyone's freaking out about it. Like I get that. There's going to be some disruption, but it's going to people who are really good at artistry will use their talent, use the technology again as a force multiplier to allow them to be more creative in their thinking, and they're not spending time doing the outlines and filling it in because they already know what they want. They just want to see the product and can be more creative with it. So that's where I think it'll really take away there.
Yeah.
And then the final takeaway after the couple of the examples there is, though, you do want to use it properly. So the biggest thing is opportunities and risks. So AI is not just plug and play. It may seem fun. You go on a website, generate a fun image and post it for a meme online or something. But when you're considering it for your business, you don't want to just like let anyone ask questions. You want to make sure your data is tagged properly. It's called data governance, where you take your data and you're marking it like, is this public information? Is it internal employees only? Is this for the accountants? Is it for confidential C-level people? Like there's different classifications for your data. You go through all of that. That way you have the levels of employees mapped. So an accountant, for example, can ask the AI an accounting question, or HR can ask information about employees, but you're not going to have your regular staff be able to ask the salaries of everyone in the company. So that kind of thing is what you want to think about to make sure your data is locked down properly. And so that's called data governance. So poor implementation can lead to data privacy violations, biased outputs if it's done improperly too. Maybe you trained it on a bunch of bad data. Maybe you were trying to do like your QA bot earlier, where you have a question that text asks like, how do I do this? Ask Ginny, right? And it gives you a documentation. But what if the documentation was from 4 years ago? You trained it on bad data. So you got to make sure that the data you're giving it is good. You want to check it, for security vulnerabilities, and you don't want to waste your resources. If you're doing all this with AI, is it really going to save your time and with the business? Because it is kind of an uplift. Every employee that has it typically you're paying a monthly fee for, like any other licensing. On top of that, the data governance is usually a project that'll take some time. So at the end of it all, even after you do the project, you might be having a recurring fee. If you got 25 employees at $25 a pop, that can add up pretty quickly each month, and you may be asking yourself, is there really a benefit? Is this really going to? Is it 30? Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So yes, it was $31.50 per user for Copilot, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for Copilot. And now it's like, think of that, $30 times how many employees you got per month. Is that really going to improve the efficiency? So you do usually want to have some processes in place prior, maybe have examples, really think about how you're going to actually use it in your business rather than just turn it on to have it and be ahead of the game, or think that it'll be a selling thing. Oh, we use AI at our company, but if you're not doing it in an efficient manner, you're just kind of wasting the money on it. So think about how it really will help you. It really will help a lot of businesses in various ways. So it really is there, but you have to think about the use case, not just for marketing and making meme images, right? Think about where's the biggest pain point in your business that takes the most time, like the biggest bottleneck. Like if we get a new project, where does it always get stuck? Is it not a person? It may not be their issue, but it could just be a process. And then are you able to automate that process using AI to then help you get more, products, whatever it is. That's kind of where you want to look inside your business and figure out where it makes sense. And that's where we come in as the role of the MSP. As your partner, we will help you with all your data governance. We'll make sure all your information is tagged properly. We'll make sure the AI implementation is right with the right, and maybe you're only going to start with the managers are going to have access to the AI to test it to see if it's worthwhile in the business, right? And then if it's worthwhile, then they'll do the rest of the staff. There's different things we can do to test and show you examples on how you can use that maybe you haven't thought of yet. And it all is going to depend on everyone's individual business. Even two businesses in the same industry operate differently. And by knowing your processes and your pain points, we can get in there and help automate and make it more efficient. And the biggest thing is we're going to do it with security focused in mind first. A lot of people are like, I just want AI to work. I want my employees to start playing with it today so they can get ahead of the curve and give us, a competitive advantage, all of this stuff. But if you do it too quickly, it's not going to be secure, and you're better off just, taking your time with it, critically thinking about it if it makes sense, and taking a calculated approach using your MSP as your partner. So yeah, if you're looking to explore AI, it's not just about what's possible. It's about doing it responsibly, efficiently, and securely if it makes sense for your business. So as AI is no longer science fiction, it's actually here, it's real, and it is transforming various industries. But to unlock its potential without opening yourself up to risk, you do need a partner who knows both the tech and the terrain inside and out, and that's where we come into play.
Yeah, that's us. So make sure you reach out, go to our website, and fill in your form for your free assessment. Drop your questions. I want to hear them because it gives us more data. And I'm not going to bang I did that.
That's okay.
We were talking about the other day because Jenny gets excited and I use my hands and then I bang the table and we got shakes.
Camera wiggles a little bit, but that's okay.
I'm conscious of it now. Anyway, now you're conscious of AI. Reach out and we'll see you next time.